So then we're going to talk about record keeping. Record keeping is important when you're working with snakes to ensure that you have some baseline data. So if something goes wrong and you've got to take a snake to the vet, one of the first questions the vet will ask is when did it last eat, when's the last shed, what's its typical weight. If you have that baseline data, then you are giving your vet something to work from. Okay, so the way that we achieve getting the weights for our animals is pretty simple. We have a digital scale container, so we turn the scale on. It will then work out its weight with the container sitting on the top. Okay, so then when we put the snake inside it, we're then going to get an accurate reading. So we've got a death adder here that's due for its weight. So nice and simple. Lift the lid off. Pick the snake up. The snake goes in. Put the lid back on. We've got a weight of 141 grams. So write that in the book. Done. Now we're going to put the snake back in. So I wanted to show you something with regards to lids. So you can see how this one we've got no catch or anything like that. So when I go to lift this up, my fingers actually go under the edge of the container. Alright, now with a venomous snake, that's obviously potentially a problem. Okay, so what we've done is we saw this idea on Facebook of a person that came up with an idea of putting some gaffer tape on the lid and thought, hey, that's a great idea, but let's improve it, let's find something a little bit more permanent. So what we did is we ended up using a regular hinge. So the hinge falls flat, but then you can also pick it up. So rather than trying to put our fingers under the edge of the container, we can hold the lid by the hinge. Nice and simple. When we put the snake back in too, you'll notice that we've put the container half on. The reason for that is we're going to hook the snake down into here. The snake will then be able to move under it, and then we can use the hook just to slide the container back into place, minimising contact with the snake. So heads down at that end, so we're going to flick up at this end like so. Nice and simple. Hooking the snake up on the first third. There it is. There's a beautiful albino death adder this one. Okay. Into the container he goes. Yeah. Obviously nice and easy with a death adder. A little bit more difficult with something fast moving. Lid goes on, hook goes in the centre, putting downward pressure on. Alright, making sure that the snake can't strike up. So you saw before how I had to stick my fingers under the edge. In the case of this container, if I was to do that, I can actually just use the hinge and pick it up with the hinge hook. So have a good day.